With the new Scream movie on the horizon, you can bet we are in for some new twists and turns with a new homicidal maniac on the loose. And with homicidal maniacs running around tripping over furniture, seriously, Ghostface?
Oh, I gotta stop drinking.
We need a final girl, and what final girl better than Sidney motherfucking Prescott? Hi, welcome to Final Girl, where I finally put this channel's name to use. I'm Natasha, and this video's Final Girl is our very own
lovable and fucked up Sidney Prescott,
played by one of my favorite late 90s stars, Neve Campbell. Scream was directed by Wes Craven and written by Kevin Williamson. Scream is ironically my favorite scary movie. It's actually the movie that got me into horror movies, and I'll always appreciate that, so I'm biased. Yeah. Whatever bad thing you have to say about this franchise, I disagree. Scream was just so real to me, considering a guy or girl could be a crazy motherfucker running around in a mask killing people. Even though Halloween did it first, and Scream was Kevin Williamson's love letter to Halloween, which makes sense because the original was full of Halloween references. This movie is a well put together original movie, adding simple elements to make it an instant classic. From the opening scene where Dylan played too rough and gets hacked up and hung on a tree, the meta commentary, the whodunit element, even though it's pretty obvious if you look at it from today's standards, and a kick-ass final girl, which brings me to its main character, Sidney Prescott.
You were the only child she claimed, Sidney.
Let's begin. When we first meet Sidney, all broody and innocent looking, she's sitting there typing on her loud-ass 1996 computer. She then hears a sound and a pouncing serpent attacks her, but it just turns out to be her even broodier looking boyfriend, Billy. And from the moment I meet this guy, I'm instantly getting killer vibes. I mean, who the fuck is sneaking poorly, I'd like to add, up to someone's window? I mean, do people do this in real life? Do any of you not get shot for being on people's property? Anyways, they decide to get a little frisky until she stops him because, you know, she's such a tease.
I see what you do to me.
Make me want to kill you more, babe. And ooh, a little girl's going wild there, huh, Sidney? Okay, girl. The next day, she finds out about Casey and Steve and then gets questioned by the dumbass police. They don't know shit. Fast forward, she's home now, being scored by this awesome piece of music based on her character by composer Marco Beltrami. And we finally start getting some backstory on Sid and why she was feeling a little woozy earlier today at school. It turns out her mother was killed the year prior and she doesn't feel too happy about it. Gee, Sid, all you guys seem to watch are news channels. I'm sure it's a cartoon marathon happening right about now after school. Stressed about her mother, she takes a nap, and when she wakes up, she starts getting sexy random phone calls from a dude who she automatically thinks is Randy, who was the corny white dude from earlier. No, not that corny white dude, this one. Then shit hits the fan and she figures out it's not Randy.
If you hang up on me, you'll die just like your mother.
Do you want to die, Sidney? Your mother sure didn't.
She gets attacked by Ghostface and runs up the stairs, even though she pretty much contradicts herself by doing this. But hey, let's give Sid some credit here because she did try to go out the front door first. After sending a white woman in trouble signal to the cops, Ghostface disappears and Billy conveniently shows up afterwards, and she smartly thinks he's the culprit. She had a good gut though, because dude is mad suspect. Gay and a killer? I'm sure he had just got done topping off Stu before they came here. Like, dude, why do you keep doing this? It's killers and shit running around. Billy gets arrested and Sidney, who's freaking pissed about being attacked, socks this bitch Gail. Wait, did Kenny just poke fun at Gail for getting hit?
Nice shot.
Bitch.
No, I mean, camera shot.
That's just hilarious.
God, I loved it. I'll send you a copy. Bam! Bitch went down. I'll send you a copy. Bam! Sid, super bitch.
I always loved this little scene with her and Tatum. It's so cute. She then gets a call from the killer letting her know she'll find out soon who he is. Not quick enough, Dewey. Stop masturbating with vacuums, man. Now we're back at the school. She sees Gail, but Gail don't want no smoke. Then they discuss her mother's murder in close-ups. Then she starts questioning Gail's theory on her mother's death, only for her to start questioning herself in the testimony. Sid then apologizes to Gail for committing assault with her face last night. Still tense, she goes to the bathroom after talking to her snake-like boyfriend, who just wants her to get over her mom's death. She then hears this bitchy 30-year-old cheerleader talking about her mom, and gets attacked by Ghostface. So she tenses some more. Sidney then agrees to go to some party, which is not the best idea considering you've been attacked twice in less than 24 hours. But hey, movies gotta have somewhere to have a third act finale. Now we're at this 90s ass party who somebody should have stopped by now, do we? Then this clumsy ass killer kills Tatum, who I high-key enjoyed as a character, so Sidney wouldn't leave the house, which she should have been a little suspicious of. Why would Tatum just up and disappear and leave when Dewey was her ride home? And she came with you. You're staying at her house. Also, Dewey's car is still parked in the front of the house. She shouldn't be gone anywhere. Anyways, young Cole Sprouse pops his bony ass out of nowhere again, who I blame for why she didn't start having these suspicions immediately. Billy is clearly a bit of a weakness for Sid, and Billy knows that, you mega dick. They go up to the room and talk or whatever. And Billy is like the douchiest boyfriend ever, bringing up movies while Sid's all like, I don't want to be like my mom.
Enough is enough. I can't wallow in the grief process forever, and I can't keep lying to myself about who my mom was.
Girl. Then one mention of a movie and now she's all like, let's make a porno, baby. Then they have sex. Like, ugh. Seriously, Sid, not one question as to why he brought up movies instead of talking about your feelings. After Billy's done skeeting on Sid, which didn't seem too good to Sid because she's still questioning if he's the killer or not. I mean, how bad do you have to be in bed for your girlfriend to still question that? He then takes enough time to fake out this clearly staged just scene that they can't even get their knife blood situated. Now she's running around being a final girl for about 15 minutes, discovers Tatum's body in the process, fights Ghostface, locks Stu and Randy out. Then Billy tugs one last heartstring of Sidney's and what? Billy the killer? I totally saw this coming, but Sidney did. And at this point, Sidney has definitely suffered enough mental damage. She's witnessed 2 alleged murders, a murdered victim, and watched someone crash a car. And now her innocent, loving boyfriend and his doofus friend turns out to be the killers. Baby girl is going through it at this point. Not only did this sick fuck manipulate her into having sex with him, he admits that him and his buddy killed her mother a year prior. Saying this all alone, I'm sure Sidney's brain was all over the place. Sid asks him why, and Billy calmly says it's because her mom slept with his dad and ruined his family. Boo-hoo, you fucking pansy ass mama's boy. So you go ripping up people because your dad couldn't keep it in his pants? You could have just went with your motherfucking mother. Ugh, Billy. So young, so dumb, so beautiful. Here is where I feel Sidney is truly shattered here. Yeah, she just had all this fucked up shit happen to her in a span of 15 minutes. But this was something she had been struggling with throughout this entire movie, the entire year. Her mother. So for Billy to drop this on her and Stu, because Stu's chaotic ass was just here for the dick riding. I mean ride. He was here for the ride. Both are shocked, but she's left with the realization that her mom wasn't who she thought. It's honestly very sad. Fucking dick. Ugh. But this is where the turning point starts to happen, because Billy and Stu were stupid enough to get distracted, where Sidney shows how fucking badass she is, setting up these epic unscripted dialogues between Skeet and Matthew.
Did you really call the police?
You bet your sorry ass I did.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad.
I remember jumping out of my bunk beds watching this as a kid, rooting for Sidney to win, and does it she shall. She even drops the TV on a motherfucker's head. I love this little noise at the end he makes after being electrocuted to death. Classic Stu. Once Sidney thinks she's safe, she gets attacked by a mean movie dork who tries to finish her. He's clearly upset that Sidney doesn't know enough about horror movies. Then bam, bam, bam! Billy goes down. He pops up for one last scare like the corner beta male he is, and then he gets shot in the head, putting an end to this beautiful Johnny Depp incarcerated psychopath. So now the movie ends with Sidney and the gang awaiting those star power-filled sequels. Sorta. As Sid progresses in the sequels, Sid goes through a lot of changes throughout the franchise. You can still see her traits established in the original. Resourceful, chick. Resilient, chick. Kicking Ghostface ass, checking it, chick. But also with heavy trust issues. From each encounter, she becomes stronger from it. And by Scream 3 and 4, she definitely gives no fucks and allows herself to face danger instead of running away like in the original. Man, that's that white confidence, because because my ass is running. I will be giving straight up Joel energy the moment I see a motherfucking dead body or see somebody get killed. Like, sorry Olivia, we didn't care enough about your character anyways.
See ya, wouldn't want to be you.
I do think Sid had to learn some more to get to that Scream 4 demeanor. The more I watched the first two Screams, the more I realized how a little frustrating Sidney could be sometimes. And boy, does she irritate my soul in the second one. Because I know she moved on and tried to put her past behind her, but she should have been a bit more on edge after the events of the first film, compared to like in 3, where she thought to isolate herself and think to get a gun and carry pepper spray. She also becomes a little too eager sometimes to see who the new Ghostface is, and because of it, she gets people killed. Case in point, Hallie. Then her past trauma is used against her a lot in these movies, and unfortunately it allows her to drop her guard tremendously, like having sex with a psychopath or getting Derek killed. But by Scream 4, she's learned to put her own safety at risk for the safety of others, like how I mentioned earlier, Olivia. She didn't know that girl at all, but sprung into action just to try and save her. I do wish in Scream 4 they would have showed more of how Sidney managed to cope after all the murder sprees, beyond just saying she wrote a book. Hopefully when she comes back in the next Scream, they do that, but also establish the younger characters better. But I guess we gotta wait for that. Well, it turns out actress Neve Campbell, who played the resilient Sidney Prescott, was a bit of a real-life badass who took her character to heart, accidentally wounding or hitting her Ghostface counterparts. Turns out while filming, Neve would unintentionally stab Skeet Ulrich in the first one and Scott in the third, missing both of their protective gears.
There's like a pad right here. I've had open heart surgery, so I was like protective of my chest. And she missed. Oops.
It impaled me. You can see it, and that's the take they used, and literally I was like, it scared the crap out of me. But it was definitely broke skin. I was bleeding, and it was everything Neve has. And Neve is sweet and beautiful, but she's not a little girl. There's some force behind her.
West being the best, R.I.P., kept both of their real-life reactions into the movie. Neve also actually beat up some of the stuntmen for Ghostface. Talk about packing a punch. And there you have it. A quick breakdown of the 90s most prominent final girl. Sidney Prescott used to be my favorite final girl until I saw AVP and You're Next, but Scream is still my favorite horror movie. Biased. I loved how immediately it was fight or flight with Sid. My girl was not playing. But Ghostface still was a bumbling idiot in the costume. I don't give Sidney that much credit anymore, even though she did rock some of that shit. Classic sibling rivalry. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you go check out the new Scream movie. Make sure you guys like this video and comment below. And that's it. Bye-bye.